What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Burndown YouTube channel. So we are out here once again with the Twin Tobago. Just a quick recap and update. We are going to LS Fest West 2023, which is the end of this month. The plan was to take the boom. The boom's already signed up and registered, but my transmission will not be here and done and ready to go. So we kind of quit working on that, put this on the back burner, and we're gonna get the Bago in fighting shape. Put a new radiator, new fan assembly, and we'll go check it out right now. And off camera, I put the bumper, grill, all the stuff back in. All the things are here. This thing is basically rock and roll. I heat cycled it a couple times, and I had some issues with the little TIG welded elbow that I did. Amateur TIG welding hour over here. I came out the other day and this thing had leaks on it. So I don't know if you can see on camera where it's a different color. We got this thing kind of welded up, fixed a bunch of pinholes, put it all back together, put it in, tightened it up, and now we are looking pretty good. We'll keep an eye on that thing. Yeah, but initially we didn't do so good. And actually, one time it was bad. I pinholed, welded, put it all back together, and came out and it still had issues. So hopefully third time's a charm with that. If not, we will do it 4 or 5 or 6 or 20 times, or however many times we have to do to get that thing correct. But it looks good. It's good for now. So the goal today is to wait for the registration spot to open. It's like AAA type deal. Get this thing re-registered, insured, and then we'll put it back on the road. So I'd like to test it today and work out the fan strategy. So I had a fan strategy in here, and for what it is, it's pretty complex. Technically, there's like 3 different triggers, RPM, and then temperature on and off. And then I have a third strategy, which I call it the hill fan switch, which should be like extra cooling. If I flip that, it'll look at the whole table, and then it'll kick the fan on and off. And it also looks at transmission with that switch on. So if you're climbing a hill or doing stuff, or if the transmission doesn't look happy, I can flip the switch and it will look at transmission temperature as well as cooling. So even if the motorhome's cool, if the transmission is having a time, it'll still fire the fan. So I learned that climbing a hill with this, because the fans were kicking off and it was leaving my transmission out to bake. So the thing we have to try today though is we have to motor down the road and see if it'll cool itself and what temperature it likes to kind of run at. Now that we have the new larger radiator that takes up this whole space. The old one, that was basically where the top of the old one was, down here, and I had that big black curved piece. I don't know if I'm gonna make anything like that this go around. We're just gonna see how this does here and try to set up some fan strategy, kind of run this thing around, get a little seat time today. So that's kind of the goal. Until then, until the place opens, because I have a little while, it's the morning. I got new gas for the welder, and then just welding up that little tube, the color and everything is there. Before, everything would gray out and it was like I was putting too much heat, but I didn't change anything except I put gas in the welder. So I'm gonna go make a little test piece and screw with that for a minute, because I got some time till the spot opens. So I'm gonna go run some boogers and I'll show you guys, but I think we've got the settings and all stuff licked. Now it's just the welder mod that we need to get done. So let's go weld up a test piece while we're waiting, and I'll show you guys what it looks like with actually new gas this time. Okay, so I'm not completely as terrible as I thought I was. I don't know if the camera picks that up, but yeah, we got the color, the consistency. It even stuck and twisted the piece while I was working. Another upgrade I got too was this. Ta-da! It helps when you can see. So, proper gas, proper setup, lots of practice. I feel like, obviously this is bench welding, easy stuff, right? So, yeah, but that's part of learning, is not knowing. And I feel good about that, man. I'm gonna finish this coupon, and then we'll wait for this thing to be open so we can get the registration, and then we're gonna get some fuel and go ride around in the Twin Tobago. All right, here's a couple attempts. This is my first one, and a buddy of mine said it had too much gas on it. And then these don't lay flat, like see how they kind of warp out, but they're warped when I cut them. I cut them on the Beverly shear, because my stomp shear won't cut this as a 16 gauge stainless. So it started like undercutting, so I filled it there. But it's good practice, because I'm just doing it on the fly. And then I turn the gas down, and then I tried a bit bigger fill rod on this one. See, this one I believe is a smaller size fill rod, a little more undercut. But all in all, this is looking much better than, this is what we were able to do before, you know, versus this guy. I don't know if you can see the difference on the camera, but this is just great and dull and ugly. And obviously this is my very first shot, but they're stuck together. I guess if they fall apart, we can re-weld them, but we'll leave them alone. That's enough TIG practice. Let me go register the Bago and we will get rolling. All right, there she is. Only wasted about half the day. My little gal was closed. I ended up having to go to AAA. So we got it done. I have registration. So we are good to roll. I'm gonna mess with the cooling settings, and I realized something else. I can set up a trigger for the transmission just like the radiator to kick the fan on instead of having to look at the table with the hill fan switch. So we can have it both. So if the transmission's getting hot, it'll kick it. If the motor's getting hot, it'll kick it. And then if I decide that I want extra cooling, I can flip the switch. So I'll mess with those settings a little bit before we ride, but I got to take the laptop and basically just drive around and see what the thing does. So I'll bring you back when we're rolling around for a bit. You know you're supposed to be riding in the back, Jack, right? You good? Alright, put some fuel in. We're just cruising around doing low speed tests. So far it's looking pretty good. It looks like it wants to stay in the like 193 range. It's 70 degrees out today, so it's not really good testing weather. And then the fan's grabbing, I'm having the fan grab it at a little over 200, right? So it'll get to like 203, 204, and then the fan will kick it down. So I'm going to cruise around some low speed tests, and we'll do some highway, a little bit of freeway driving to see if that temperature just goes in the dirt. But yeah, on the low speed stuff, that's pretty good. We're doing averaging like 30 miles an hour, and that was keeping the temps in check, which is phenomenal. So we'll have to see if it does the same at a higher speed. All right, Bulldog, you ready? Ready for some boost? I don't know if you're ready. The light turns green. We're gonna get on the freeway. Here we go, big dog. Hang on. Give it the beans, Eddie. Locked up, and the temperature's going down, and we're going into a headwind, so it's at 190 and dropping. I would say that's success, boys. 189. Phenomenal. Fourth gear locked up, rolling, and the temperature keeps cruising down. We are in a little bit of a downward slope, so let me flat land it for a while, drive it a little bit, let you boys know how it's doing. But yeah, look at it. We just pulled in, cruising slow, it will creep up, and then the fans grab it, and then it just goes right in the dirt. This is about the average line temp driving around unlocked, and same roughly, I think that's about the 180 mark for the pan temp for the transmission. So man, oh man, I am super happy with this thing. I got off the freeway kind of early. The temperature went to 178 on the freeway. So I didn't really feel like I needed to continue driving, because at that point that's a lot lower than it really kind of needs to be anyway. So I'll do more testing. I don't need to bring you guys along. I may up the thermostat. I don't know what thermostat is in here. I want to say it's probably like a 180. So maybe we'll adjust that. Maybe we'll put a different thermostat in, so when we're cruising we can kind of keep it at temp. But I don't know, I think a 180 thermostat would be cool. I'd like to try to keep her kind of under the 200. I know we've had this discussion a bunch, but that's kind of roughly where this thing I think will ultimately live. And then again, I'm happy that it puts stuff in the dirt, so that's really what I wanted. This thing really didn't have a problem technically overheating.
but now I can basically control the temperature, and that might set us up for success if we decide to try to strap a trailer and maybe tow, I don't know, a Pacer to LS Fest next year is kind of the thought that's going through my head now. But we will see how it goes. I'm gonna turn this bad boy off. And that is it for today's episode. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you for coming along on the journey. And then I'm going to kind of hit the creative drawing board and figure out what we can do to spiff this thing up in the time that I have and not get too overwhelmed and bite off more than I can chew, so we can go have some fun with our guys and treat it like a vacation at LS Fest West 2023. I'm coming. I'm gonna let Holly know I'm coming, and I can't wait. You guys, I'm out.